Hello everyone, this is Royza here. In today's video, I'm going to go over some questions about getting started in streaming. So if you want to see some Siege gameplay or any other games that I play, this is not the video. This is just purely for people that want to get started into the content creation scene. But Royza, you're not a big streamer. I know this. However, I constantly get asked on my offline content or when people come live into my stream, how do I get started? What are the tips and tricks? How have you grown? And it kind of just makes me take a step back because I am by far not a big streamer. I am still a very small fish in a very large pond. However, I have been around for like a few years now. I think I'm going on like 4.5, 5 years. So I have learned a thing or two in the streaming thing. So I'm going to try and rattle off some tips and tricks, some advice, some do's and don'ts. So I should probably start off where it all began, where I started this content creation journey. And it started back in 2020, right at the start as the COVID. So I'm a COVID streamer. I was currently playing Warzone 1, the original Warzone, and I was playing offline. You know, I always had a bit of a creative thing in me. I don't know how to say it. I was always creating videos, not about gaming. When I went travel, I'd always like to make a little montage, or whether it was back in the Halo days, playing Forge or making creative maps. I always had it. You know, I'm a diesel mechanic. I've always, better with my hands, as people say, because I'm not that switched on up here. Anyway, I started playing Warzone and I was playing on my PlayStation 4. And then someone said, hey, you've got a good knack. You should start streaming. And then I go, oh, I don't know if that's really me. I'll be more into the YouTube side of things where you create videos and you upload it, rather than the live thing. And then the person that got me my PC or helped me build my PC, he said, well, you usually just stream and then that way you can record it at the same time and it's a win-win. You're streaming to an audience and then you can upload your VODs. I went, okay. And to be honest, I don't really remember where it all went from there. I just got the PC. I remember I couldn't work out this because I got very frustrated with setting up OBS and the hardware side of things because I'm getting on now. However, I got annoyed with trying to capture the PS4 through the PC, or play the PS4, stream it through the PC, and then you guys obviously see they're both combined. So I got annoyed and I went from controller over to mouse and keyboard purely for the fact I wanted to be flicky with the snipes and I could just go, I'm going to play on my PC and also stream on the PC. Goodbye console gaming. And whilst I should go back a bit, whilst I was doing all this, I started streaming on Facebook gaming because whilst I knew of the purple platform, which was Twitch, I didn't realize it, but I was a very casual gamer. And the only way I knew of Facebook is I'd see the algorithm would get me. I'd see a gaming clip and I'd go, oh yeah, this is peak COVID when Facebook was booming. I might just put that in there. I'd watch it and then I'd watch a couple of streamers. And I went, oh, okay, this is how they stream. So I went, okay, I'm going to start on Facebook too because that's where I found it. I want to bring casual people like myself in. And yeah, lo and behold, I started up the Royza Gaming channel, which probably brings me to my first thing. I've written off some dot points here, but I'm going to kind of go through them as we go. I spent an ungodly amount of time, it's kind of embarrassing, perfecting, criticizing, ridiculing, I don't even know what the word, on my name that I wanted my channel to be and my logo. It's so embarrassing to say it because I was like, no, I want to get this right. I want it to be available across all platforms. I want it to relate. And then the logo as well. And whilst I kind of look back and that wasn't a bad decision, I'm very glad I decided to put my name as Roy. As a apprentice mechanic, I started getting called Royza. I hated the name and it stuck. And now for some reason, I like my nickname Royza. And I go, stop overthinking it. Just put Royza Gaming, boom, forget about it. And as for the logo, I'm pretty sure I paid way too much. I paid some guy on Fiverr a couple of $100 and he came up with this ultra sophisticated logo. And you look at it now and it's pretty standard. So leading back into my first tip, don't put off things because you need to have everything going for you to start streaming. I'm telling you right now, just start. You don't need You don't need a logo. You don't need a proper name. Hell, you don't even need a camera. You just need something you can stream your gameplay. There's people on TikTok that are just literally using their phones right now. Just honestly, just start streaming. Because you could do all this, and then before you know it, you're going to go, oh, maybe this isn't for me. Oh, I've just spent money on a logo. I've just bought a camera. I've just spent, getting the domain on my site. There's so many people that I know, I'm not calling out anyone, but they go, oh, I'm going to start next year because I'll have my logo, or I'll have my alerts done. I need to create my Twitter account. Just honestly, just start. That's that's my biggest thing for just starting out. And then from there, whilst you're starting out, you'll probably soon figure out, or you might already know right from the start, what do you want to get out from streaming? Do you just you honestly have to ask yourself this, because I said to myself, oh, no, it's just a hobby. And I'd tell everyone it was just a hobby, but I knew deep down, I probably within a couple of months of giving it a go, I said, holy crap, I've never been so invested in something in my life. I want to make this my career. It is my passion. And from then I took it very seriously, almost too seriously. However, I knew right from the get-go. And with that, if you want to take it as a hobby, you can just start streaming. You don't really need to do anything. You just want to keep a small audience. That's fine. So, however, with my route being full serious, I took it very serious. And then you almost have to treat it like a business. Whether that's getting your tax sorted, setting up a bank account. Yes, this is all the behind the scenes stuff that no one wants to talk about online, but getting up your ABN sorted, registering your name, blah, 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 which I said you don't have to do at the start, but you got to keep this in mind. If you start streaming and your name's Fluffy Panda 69, it's going to be kind of awkward to change all this down the track, isn't it? So like I said, if you're doing it as a hobby, who cares? But if you're taking it serious, just try and keep it, semi-relatable / civil, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, from there, with the casual side of things, and like I said, you want to do this as a hobby, like honestly, I kind of don't really have any advice, just to have fun. I'm assuming if you're a hobby, you don't really want to grow at I'm not saying rapid rate, you will grow, but just not at a rate that you might not be comfortable with. Whereas if you want to take this very seriously, you've got to really start thinking of a game plan. And I've got a dot point here. Don't put all of your eggs in one basket. I see this a lot where people are like, no, I'm just going to become the next Jinxie, or Kai Cenat, perfect examples that have made it through streaming. You got to realize they haven't done it just through streaming. They are doing offline content as well. It is now 2024. There's multiple social media outlets. We've got YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook even for the niche crowds, and then also Twitch, Kick, you name it. And I think if you put all your eggs in one basket and you're just going, I don't like editing videos. I don't want to do videos. I just want to become a streamer, which is great. However, let's say something happens to Amazon, who owns Twitch. Boom, Twitch is gone. They laid off all the employees. You are sitting there. You've lost everything. You have nothing else to venture into, not even to lever other people into your other platforms. This also goes to offline content. TikTok could go overnight. YouTube, while I highly doubt it, they could just disappear. And then, you don't want to be purely on YouTube long form, let's say, so to speak. However, you don't want to be just a shorts creator. And I'm predominantly a shorts creator. I'm trying to push into the long form, hence this video, I guess you could say. And then I also do a bit of Twitch streaming. I also post on Instagram, YouTube Shorts, but my main platform is TikTok. This may seem very daunting, which it is, and it's a lot to manage. The only advice I can say is start off small. Maybe pick 2 or 3 platforms max. So let's just say you want to start hey, I'm a new streamer. I want to get my audience. Maybe you could start streaming on Twitch, and maybe you could start doing short form content, which, if you didn't know, you can post your TikTok shorts and your YouTube shorts to the same platforms. However, YouTube shorts is limited to 60 seconds, so you got to keep that in mind. Sometimes you've got to trim down the TikToks to make them fit in YouTube. Or you can just post the same clip. I'm not here to judge what you do. That brings me to my next thing. People say, oh, how do you record all this? Do you go back into your streams and find the VODs? Guys, the biggest game changer I found, I don't record any of my streams. All you got to do is set up a thing called a replay buffer. I stream and record through OBS, and I literally just turn on my replay buffer. A replay buffer is where you can set it to, I think I have it on mine like 90 seconds to 2 minutes, and you turn it on. Let's just say I hit a clip. Oh, yep, mad clip. Whoa, we won the round. I click that button. It'll save the last 2 minutes of that gameplay. So you do have to be conscious and go, okay, this was a good clip. Oh, maybe this will make some good content. You just press the button and then you have that clip saved. And then I started just doing it that way. You can trim them down. You can edit it. I'm not going to get too much into it as this is a streaming thing, but yeah, that's what I do. I very rarely record the whole time. With the next one, I got a few questions about sponsorships and partnerships. I've done a few sponsorships now where, with gaming products, with games. I do have a code with Fortnite. I also have a code with Ubisoft as well, and I'm also an Ubisoft creator. This is great. However, I think a lot of people tend to narrow in and say, this is what I need, this is what I need to do, and I'll make it. And whilst it is great, and I'm extremely grateful for everything that I have been able to partake in or, collab, especially with other streamers, it's not absolutely everything that you should be going for. It's not like you're going to get, like, let's say a code or a partnership with some kind of brand, or you're sponsored by Razer, Logitech, or whatever, and you're just gonna, oh, I've made it. Like I said, I'm very grateful, and it does help you, but you shouldn't just be narrowing and going, oh, I want to be partnered with XYZ so I can get free stuff. It looks really good, and like it is, like I said, once again, I cannot stress this enough, it is helpful and it is great. However, it's not like, how do I put this in gaming terms? End game. You should try to be focused on creating engaging quality content that you can potentially monetize off. We don't have it in Australia for TikTok. However, if you're outside, I believe it's in the UK or the US, you can join the creator platform. However, pretty much I'm nearly certain anywhere in the world, I could be wrong, you can monetize off YouTube. And once you start to figure out that, I've hit the goals, I can become monetized on YouTube, you'll actually start to get brands and sponsorships reaching out to you. I'm going to be completely transparent. I think I got my first sponsorship when I was about 40,000 on TikTok. And then I just worked my way up from there, and yeah, until fast forward to today. Which brings me to my next dot point, which is patience. We're in 2024 now where everything is available, almost instantaneous. This is not the case in content creation. I think when I said I got my first sponsorship when I was about 40,000, I was probably creating content for about easily over 2 to nearly 3 years before I got anything. I'm going to say that again. It's not going to happen overnight. You need to prove to these potential brands that you are reliable, you are valuable, you have a community under you. It takes time. So don't sit there and sit on your socials and complain, oh, why? I see a lot of this. I see, why haven't I been reached out to this? Why I deserve this. Don't do that. Whilst they may not be reaching out to you, I can guarantee you they're out watching and looking for new candidates. And if they see someone complaining, potentially bringing that brand down, they're just going to go, oh, well, we'll cross him off the potentials list. So along with being patient and, just trying to stick in your own lane, create quality content, I also have here managing your time efficiently. When I started streaming, it was peak COVID, everyone was home, and the streamer, I'll admit it, I was part of the streamer boom, and the streamers flooded the market. There's all tons of new streamers, and it was all good. We had a little community going off, and whilst I knew deep down, I said, I am going to be in this for the long game, I just slowly watch streamers just tick off one by one. They would stream ridiculous hours. I'm talking 10 to 12 hour days, 6 days a week. And whilst they may have had a higher sub count, they burnt out so hard. And all of a sudden they announced they're retiring. And we're like, dude, what happened? And they just said, I literally can't even, I hate the game that I'm playing. I'm not getting anywhere, and I'm just burnt out. You know, bills are getting due again, and I need to go like back to work and focus on work, or I need to focus on my degree or my trade, whatever. So with the managing time thing, when I started, I was obviously full-time at work. So I'd do an 8-hour day. I'd come home and I'd stream for 3 hours. Then I'd get off, make dinner, and pretty much go to bed, get up in the morning, gym, work, rinse and repeat. And I think I was streaming 4 to 5 days a week on the weekdays, and I had done no offline content. I just want you to remember that, no offline content. I was averaging about 3 to 4 viewers on Facebook. And I think over the last 2 years, well, the first 2 years that I was streaming on that platform, I had about 600 followers. And which is great. And like I said, I am very grateful for every single one of them followers, whoever subbed back in the day. However, it was kind of it was a very slow, gradual process for over 2 years. Once I started to get a little bit burnt out in streaming, keep in mind, I was only doing 3-hour streams. I started to get burnt out, and actually it was a bit weird. My internet used to cut out at certain times when I was streaming. It would just lag so hard, the stream would crash, and then it'll just interrupt the stream. I'd have to reboot the stream, and it was just not fun at all. So with this, I started going, well, okay, let's start streaming less. So I said, let's start streaming less, and if my stream cuts out, I'll just call it GG's for the night. And then that's when I actually got recommended, oh, well, why don't you start posting offline to platforms like YouTube and TikTok? And I laughed at the fact, I said, no, TikTok is a dancing app. There's no way. And then you actually looked in there and I went, holy, there's gamers everywhere. There's everything you could possibly want on TikTok. There's a video for everyone on that platform. So lo and behold, I set up that replay buffer. I'm pretty sure I'd nearly done that from the start. And then I just started posting clips. Actually, no, I just remembered. I started posting my PS4 clips, which all I did was press share, and it works the same as a replay buffer, just on console. And I'd trim the edges in and go, oh, I'm a content creator. I'm him, blah, blah, blah. And it was at 1920 by 1080, which was YouTube format. I'm not going to get into that. But it was a tiny little rectangle on YouTube, and I was like, why isn't this getting views? And whilst I was whinging about it not getting views, them videos, they might have gotten like 100 views. They were getting more views whilst my streams on Facebook. And I was like, that just got more views than my stream on Facebook. And I've woken up to that, and like that was working whilst I was asleep. Whereas streaming, you've got to be like live, like I am, kind of like I am now. You're in front of the camera, you're working. As soon as your stream stops, boom, less than 5% of people are going to come back and rewatch that stream. And then that's when I started to realize, well, maybe I should start streaming 2 hours, and then I'll do like the last hour of that stream, editing content of the first 2 hours. Maybe I got some highlights, or it could have been editing from the day before. Fast forward, this was also the time where my internet was also playing up big time, and I almost just went, I got a bit burnt out. I went, I'm done with Facebook. I moved to Twitch. I think I started streaming on Twitch for less than 6 months. And whilst it was good, it was just pretty much other streamers, my family, just helping me, just sitting there watching, and I wasn't really growing. And then I started to notice my views just started to creep up gradually, ever so gradually on the TikTok, because I was consistent, which is another dot point I'll get into later. However, I started getting into the offline content, and before you knew it, I was completely offline. I was still doing my full-time job. I was completely offline, and I was posting about, I think, 3 short-form clips a week. So I'd do like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday kind of deal. And I'll never forget it. I had a couple of ones that do like 1,000, 2,000 views, and I was like, yeah, this is good. And I remember I was streaming, and with Australia, our new season times can often hinder us at like 3 a.m. in the morning, but sometimes we'll catch it lucky, and it'll be a good time for us and everyone else is sleeping. Which brings me to our next thing, update that came out. I'll never forget it. It was Rambo in Warzone. He had a new weapon, and purely was just me. I had a little replay buffer of me playing with the new crossbow, being Rambo. I posted it that night because I shut down the stream. I posted it that night, and the next morning I woke up and it was at like 400, nearly 500,000 views, and I just was jumping through the roof. I just went, what is going on? And I gained like a couple of thousand followers. It was absolutely phenomenal. And I was just like, this just happened whilst I was asleep. People were just watching my content. And then that's kind of just something I'd like to add to that. Speaking of the 600 followers I gained over 2 years, when I started creating offline content, I was like, oh, I'm going to post a Instagram, I don't even remember it wasn't a reel back then, but like a Facebook video. It went viral on Facebook and I went from 600 followers to 2,000 followers overnight from one video. If that's not one thing to show how powerful offline content is, I don't know what to tell you. And oh my gosh, I've been rattling on, but with that biggest thing is, if you are serious about this, focus on offline content. If I were to talk to the old Royzer, whilst I did gain a community streaming, I would put streaming on the back burner and make it 1 to 2 streams a week max and just focus on creating content. You have to be playing, obviously, to record, which is fine. However, you should always be thinking, if you're streaming, have that replay buffer going, and yeah. So with that being said, when I started going offline and then, you know, I had the odd viral one there, and it's not like you're going to go viral and it's just viral from there. I think I'd done a viral one and then I went straight back down, but my base views were like holding at a more consistent level. Then you get another viral one and go back down, maybe another viral one, and it was just very... Welcome to the world of content creation. It's very rarely like this. You look at the big dogs up there and you go, oh, they've just gotten lucky. They're soaring up. Go back. Look, Jinxie is a prime example. He streamed every single day for like, was it a couple years? To like, I don't remember how many viewers, but it was bugger all viewers. He was posting on TikTok every single day. I'm telling you, if they're up there for a reason. They're putting in the hard yards. Consistency is key. Along with that is obviously creating quality content. It doesn't have to be, you know, fancy edits. Just start posting clips. Like I said, my first clips were PlayStation 4 clips, and they were literally just trimmed in from either side. There was no cuts. There was no text. It was just purely B-roll. I didn't even have a camera then. And then I said, oh, well, let's start, you know, trying to change the resolution to vertical format so, you know, fills it out. Then I think I got a webcam. Then I started adding my face and then going from there. Speaking of upgrading quality content, like you'll see, people will love to have the neons behind them. Like I got my logo very early and that's very expensive, hence why I haven't lost it. But people think, oh, I need to get them nano leaves on the wall or some fluorescent lighting or just something that looks cool. I'm telling you right now, that does not matter. You should be focused on getting better quality gear, whether that be a microphone, camera. You can get away with the webcam for so long. I think upgrading your mic, this is an expensive mic, which I also got secondhand as well as my Stream Deck. However, you can just get a USB mic for like a couple of $100. There's some even cheaper ones out there. I think that's the first upgrade any streamer should do. Along that is, obviously you cannot see it right now, but I was buying an extra monitor. I wanted to upgrade the PC, and whilst it did need upgrades, the biggest thing I could tell myself to go back is get a decent ergonomic chair. I'm getting old. Get a decent ergonomic chair. None of these racer ones. They're great when you're young, but when your back starts playing up, you're gonna be hurting. Get yourself a decent quality chair and a quality desk. This is you can't see it, but this is a stand-up. I can change it when my back does get sore or I'm editing for long periods of time. I can stand it up and then I can go back down. It's solid. It doesn't move. Well, the screens are shaking a bit, but it's just a quality desk. These were the last two things that I got, and I just kind of regret not getting them sooner. Like I said, I'm not trying to portray that I'm a big streamer. I'm just trying to give some people that advice that are starting out, to this and are a bit overwhelmed by it all. There's a lot of videos out there, but there's kind of that just don't give like the harsh truth. So with that, you got to ask yourself, what do you want to get out of content creation, whether it be a hobby or whether you want to go full time. Don't put off it till tomorrow or next week. If you want to give it a go, start out. There's a really good chance that you're going to start out with probably 1 to 2 viewers, so no one's going to see you anyway. Same with your videos. Don't be scared to post it. The way I told myself, if it flops, well, at least not many people seen it. And if it goes viral, well, congratulations. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Like I said, you should be doing a little bit of everything. Find the ones you like, then dabble in 2, and then eventually, go to 3 platforms and then try and, expand to all of them. Sponsorships and partnerships are great, but they are not end game. You should rather focus on bettering your content and yourself as a potential partner and creator for these people, and just work on yourself, focus in your own lane, keep your head down and stay humble. Managing your time efficiently, like I said, when you're streaming, you should be recording or have something, I want to do a pistol only challenge, like keep it interesting. Think about how I'm going to entertain the viewer, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, if you've gotten this far, and for the people that really like taking this seriously, comment down below, I made it, to let me know that you got this far. I appreciate it. And yeah, like I said, good luck with your streaming career. I hopefully will still be around, and many years to come. And yeah, my biggest thing is just hit that bloody button. Tomorrow may never come. Start today.